So the whole point of Victory Serums is trying to use the least amount of dandruff control product as possible. We have an intensive treatment which goes through a reset and then a rebalance phase, and you're removing basically off-the-shelf anti-dandruff shampoos from your world and trying to go to the absolute minimal amount of dandruff control product. And I was able to achieve this by using these products, which have been developed by myself and teams here in Australia, compound pharmacists, and gut health. And gut health was a significant contributor to the success of being able to reduce my dandruff control use, but without removing an anti-dandruff shampoo that you would normally get, like in the major brands in the supermarkets, that wouldn't have been possible to monitor and to see the real changes. So let's get straight into it. The product is clear packaging. There's no branding at all because we want to try and maintain privacy. You know, some people are quite sensitive about the dandruff and that sort of thing. So that's deliberate. When you open it up, inside the box, we've got a user guide, which is quite detailed. It goes into the products that are within the dandruff control suite, and also how to use the product. It's not just a simple wash in, wash out. It's an overnight treatment, leave-in serums, and then wash out the next day, and that goes for a couple of weeks, and then you'll eventually move into a low pH microbiome friendly shampoo. So the user guide is quite a few pages long and goes into the different products, and then this is what I was referring to earlier about the application guide. Sorry. At the back is also a section on gut health, which is really instrumental. Now, the dandruff control suite doesn't have gut health testing in it, but we have a referral partnership here in Australia that we can refer people with severe dandruff that want to get their gut health tested and have a bespoke treatment plan developed for them based on their test results. So it's not an off-the-shelf program, it's very bespoke to the individual. So we really are targeting people with quite severe dandruff in this, but if you're just a mild dandruff, seasonal, periodic, and you just want to have a reset treatment plan rather than using the off-the-shelf products with preservatives and harmful chemicals that are just not helping your scalp microbiome, then Victory Serums could be an alternative for you guys. All right, so in the product, again, minimal packaging. The product itself comes in a sealed bag because we're trying to, there are no preservatives in these products, so no added preservatives, I should say. So they are trying to maintain purity out of direct sunlight in a low humidity environment. So one of the elements of this is not to leave the products in the base of the shower. So you take them in the shower to use them, and then you take them out of the shower when you're finished for the shampoo element. In the kit comes the 2 brushes, and that's all for the box. So the brushes are quite unique. Like, this is just you see these a lot in stores. This is an exfoliation brush. Now, there's a lot of imitations out there, and this brush that I've selected here is a little bit different to the most you'd find in the cheap dollar stores, and that is that the bristles are thicker and firmer, so that when you are using it as an exfoliation brush, you don't have to put pressure to get that exfoliation. And we want to use at least amount of pressure as possible. Sebaceous glands, on the scalp secrete sebum, which is a source of food for Malassezia yeast. So we want to try and reduce that production of sebum that makes dandruff worse. So the least amount of pressure as possible. So that's the exfoliation. This is a scalp massage brush, but we're not using it as a massage. We're using it to help spread serum. And again, nice firm bristles, very easy to hold, and it's used to, once the serum is placed in the hair with your fingers, and spread as much as possible. This is just sort of to really improve that coverage. Now, serums go are quite intensive, a little bit goes a long way. In the suite comes a measure cup and applicator. And the free products. Now, the free products are the Dandruff Control Intensive Scalp Serum. This is the leave-in serum overnight. You've got the Dandruff Control Shampoo, which is used in the following day. It's an intensive shampoo. And then you've got the microbiome-friendly shampoo, which is a long-term replacement for, anti-dandruff shampoos. This has got a microbiome-friendly logo on the side. We are certified in Australia to use this. The products themselves and the packaging is actually quite important. With the shampoos, we have a snap cap, snap shut, and that is because there are no preservatives in these added preservatives in these products. So we don't want to have the product exposed to the environment for any longer than necessary, and that's why having that clip really helps sort of drive that home. We're also looking at the amount of the volume of the product use, and the cap itself on the palm of your hand is approximately 1 ml of product, and that's all that's required to get the coverage. And when you're applying this, if you're going to be applying this in the shower, you want to put roughly about the diameter of the cap, and then on a wet hand, the diameter of the cap, and then lather in your hand. It's not a very high lather product, so don't expect it to soak right up. It'll just a very short lather and then in your hair, and you're trying to focus this on the scalp, and that's for the Dandruff Control shampoo as well as the microbiome friendly. The reason why we have a separate applicator and measure cup is threefold. Is that we want to have precision dosing, so that you are only using the correct amount and not overusing the product. Now, typically for short hair, myself, I can get away with 2 ml of the serums, but in that sort of reset phase, you want to be using 4 ml if you are, quite have quite severe dandruff. So, and the reason why we use the dropper is just so that you're not overusing the product. The other one is that the dropper, typically in serums, would go back in the bottle. And when you're using the dropper, we want this tip to be going along the surface of the scalp. So you sort of put the serum in, and then just the slightest of pressure on the dropper tip here, on the black bulby part, and then you'll just feel the liquid on your scalp. And you might do 2, 3, maybe even 4 runs before running out of that, and then you go back and then reapply and then do the other side, just like that, and applying a little bit of pressure and then finishing at the back. And then once you've done that, then it's just about rubbing it in with your fingers, applying it at the back, in, and all the way in as much as possible, and then finally to spread that serum further is using the brush, and that's just a light pressure just all over your scalp, just moving the serum around, not massaging the scalp, so to speak. So the applicator is, again, quite important. The right amount of product being used, no cross-contamination with the serum as well. The serum packet itself is an airless container. So, the reason we're using the airless, again, there's no added preservatives in these products. They're designed as an intensive treatment. So rather than have dropper bottles, we use this serum to punch it into the measure cup, and each pump is about 1 ml. So this is a 50 ml container. For the treatment, we've got 12 applications by 4 ml. Now, ideally, if you've got severe dandruff and you're doing the reset, use the whole product, and that's used in combination with the Dandruff Control shampoo. And then once you've gone through that, the serum is then finished, and then you're left with the Dandruff Control shampoo and the microbiome friendly. And the objective there over time is to reduce this dandruff control product even further and further and further. And my experience after I did gut health testing was that I was able to reduce this down, the dandruff control intensive shampoo, to 1 ml once a week. Now I was using an anti-dandruff shampoo, major brand, and that was 30 mils a week, and I was shampooing every day. So from 30 mils a week every day using an anti-dandruff shampoo for severe dandruff down to 1 mil once a week is quite significant. So that was incorporating the microbiome friendly low pH shampoo. And the importance of the low pH is that the Malassezia yeast, which is the main causer of dandruff, it struggles to survive in a low pH environment. So this is balanced at 3.7, which is, between 3.5 and 4.5 is more than suitable for hair, and actually supports the microbiome and keeps everything in balance. It's when the Malassezia yeast gets out of control, throws it out of balance. And they're the products, the 3 products, and the applicators and the brushes. Severe dandruff is a real condition, and if you have it or you've experienced it, it impacts your life, your confidence, your fashion choices in clothing and hairstyles. So it is a real thing, and after 45 years of using an anti-dandruff shampoo for major brands, I was over it, and this is where Victory Serums was born.